A couple weeks ago, I made a video talking about the Boston Celtics and how their comeback is real this season. And as a Lakers fan, it is not easy to make another Boston Celtics video just a couple weeks later. But man, this team isn't just great on an individual season level. This team actually is competing against the all-time greats in terms of their efficiency and everything in between. How good are the Boston Celtics actually? Let's talk about it. What up, everybody? It's your boy STG Hoops with a brand new video. And man, we did it! We officially hit the 1,000 subscriber mark. I can't believe it. I'm humbled. You guys have been showing that support, and we actually did it. I'm so grateful, guys. This is just the beginning. The next stop is the big 10,000 subscribers. We're a long way, but we're going to do it together slowly. We talk about hoops. We don't script these videos. I got no script in front of me. Let's get right to it, everybody. Like this video if you haven't. Subscribe if you haven't. And man, we're having a lot of fun. Well, getting right to it, this Boston Celtics team is really scary. I'm telling you, bro, this team is literally competing against the all-time greats. We're going to go obviously into more statistics and kind of share how they're doing that. But just from a win-loss percentage, we already established in the last video that this team is number one in the NBA by a landslide, bro. By a straight-up landslide. On the Eastern Conference, they're 10 games ahead of the number 2 seed, which is the Milwaukee Bucks. And then obviously on the Western Conference, they're about 6 to 7 games ahead of the Thunder and the Nuggets and the Timberwolves, who are competing for that one or two spot, right? So that just shows how ahead of the pack they are in terms of the regular season, okay? But there's just more to it, bro. In terms of their winnings, they had a great, huge winning streak, right? It obviously was way past 10. They were winning games, and we didn't know how far it was going to go, but we were enjoying it, right? And then they lost maybe a couple weeks ago to the Cleveland Cavaliers by 1 point. Great game, and the streak broke, okay? It was a great streak. And then the next game, they played the Denver Nuggets on March 7th, and they lost that game as well. And when they lost that game, I remember headlines upon headlines saying, you know what, the Boston Celtics are a great team, but when it comes down to the Western Conference teams, they don't necessarily win them a lot, right? Or there's some struggling that happens against that squad, right? Because the last game that took place prior to the streak that they had, they actually lost against the Lakers, okay? So there has been some games in which they have lost against Western Conference teams, okay? 3 games prior to that, they lost to the Clippers, right? So there are some games, and then of course the Nuggets again beat them a couple games prior. So as I look through the stats of all their various games, there are some games in which they have lost to Western Conference prominent teams, right? I'm not talking about the Houston Rockets of the world, but the Thunder have beat them, and the Lakers have beat them, and the Nuggets have beat them, etc. But you know what, my friends? Even though this has happened, and yes, the Clippers have beat them in the past as well, but you know what, guys? They also beat the Clippers by almost 40 points, right? They beat the Kings by 25 points. We're not doing this battle. This team is legitimate. This team is legitimate. And after what? After losing those 2 games in a row against Cleveland and, of course, the Nuggets, they ended up winning the next X amount of games. I don't know when this video is going to be edited right now. The winning streak is 5. The next game, I believe, is against the Pistons, dog. So I'm going to go ahead and give that a guaranteed win, right? Then they're playing the Bulls. Man, I'm a Bulls fan. I live in Chicago. I don't know what's going to happen with that squad. Anyways, they already back at it, including a win against the Phoenix Suns, right? A top contender in the Western Conference, right? The record ain't anything, man. You got Beal, you got Durant, you got Booker. I don't care about record, right? So this team is straight up insane, bro. They already back on a winning streak right after losing. How many teams do we see do that, right? There's a reason they're number 1, okay? Now we're going to get more into the statistics of why this team is literally competing at a historic level, okay? The last video we made, we already talked about the greats. We already talked about Jayson Tatum. We already know what he got to do. We talk about Jaylen Brown. We already know what he got to do, right? For this team to win, they got to compete. They both got to be present in the playoffs. It can't just be one, the other one doesn't show. That's not going to work. Yo, the Lakers didn't win no championship with Kobe not playing well and Shaq playing well. No, they both had to perform. Someone may perform better than the other. That's why there's the awards for the finals MVP, etc. But the other person still got to perform. That's just how it is in the business of the basketball league, bro. That's just how it is. And we just spitting right now, bro. We are just spitting. Okay, statistic time. right now, the Boston Celtics, they're currently ranked number 1 in offensive rating at 122, and number 2 in their terms of their defensive rating at 110.3. Honestly, bro, if you want me to be completely honest, I have no idea what those numbers mean. I'm just being real. But look, bro, those numbers clearly mean something. Why? Because they literally, bro, this is crazy. Like I said, I don't understand the numbers, but I know what they're doing on the court, and the numbers are obviously displaying for those people who understand the numbers. This team is literally having the highest offensive rating in league history, beating the Sacramento Kings, who had the record last season with 118.6. And what are they? 122. Whatever that means, bro. Their offensive statistics and ratings are killing it. And this team is also on track to literally be the 4th team in league history. Bro, we're talking about from the inception of the NBA, man. We're not talking about this past season. In history, to finish top 3 in both offensive rating and defensive rating. And when you actually look at the teams that were in this category in the past, you obviously see as early as the Golden State Warriors, who were the NBA championship winners in 2014-2015, and then you see them 2 years later, 2016-2017. So clearly it makes sense that the Warriors are in this category because their offense was just incredible. And then obviously Draymond Green gets a stop, boom, right off the other side of the court, you got Curry, Clay hitting a 3. You do that 3-4 times, you're already up by 10-15. It's game over. That's what they did, literally. That's why they have the best record in NBA history. Straight up, man. Anyways, crazy enough, this team, the Boston Celtics, actually just 2 years ago had this as well. They accomplished this task, this feat. This is a huge one, bro, being that high in both offensive and defensive efficiency in terms of their rating. Literally top 3, Boston Celtics. Most of the same squad is returning. Jayson Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Al Horford, and the whole squad, whoever's returning back. You get the point, man. This team has done it before, and obviously what's going to happen? They're going to do it again. But at the end of the day, man, this team has it. The statistics are great. It's showing how, great they are. And if we compare the Boston Celtics team, this year to the one, when they lost in the Eastern Conference Finals, if I had to put my money on it, bro, this team is way better now. Because now you got a Jrue Holiday. Now you got a Porzingis. Now you got all these, pieces who are just Derek White, dog, who are just really helping the squad. Horford's coming off, he's like, he's not the starter anymore. You know what I'm trying to say? But he brings that experience and everything in between. But this team just has the pieces. This team has anything and everything you need to build, in terms of building that perfect NBA team build, if you will. They got all the pieces. They got the defensive guards. They got, the scorer. They got Porzingis, who's just doing everything, shooting 3s from half court at times. You know what I'm trying to say? I'm just exaggerating, but this team just got it all. But at the end of the day, these are just numbers. These are just statistics. It could be an offensive rating of 235,000. What are people going to look at the end of the day? Just going back to the actual factuals and practicality, guys. They are going to look at who won the NBA championship that year. And that's when it all comes down to. How good are the Boston Celtics? Actually, they're incredible. They're actually competing with some of the greatest NBA teams of all time in the regular season. But at the end of the day, it's just the regular season, man. But if this team can lock in and play the way they are playing in the playoffs, if not better, right? The goal is, and the expectation is to even play better in the playoffs, and we've seen it. But if everybody can lock in, buy into the system, ego is taken away, and the teamwork is integrated, and the defense is still there, and the offense is still there, and the ball is moved around, and they're playing just the way they're supposed to be playing right now, and they're doing that in the playoffs, and then maybe even the finals, then a championship is definitely in sight. This team has everything you need to win a championship. The Eastern Conference is great. The Western Conference is great. There are great teams in both. The Bucks, etc., right? The Cavs, perhaps. Obviously the Western Conference, the Denver Nuggets, and everyone else. But the Boston Celtics are hungry. They want to win it. They have the team to do it. They're good enough to do it. But the beautiful thing about life is we don't know who's going to do it, and only time's going to tell. So in the comments down below, let me know what y'all think. Do you think this is the year the Boston Celtics win an NBA championship? I want to hear from y'all. I'm going to be responding to every single comment in the comment section. This is their year, bro. They have it. They have to, they got all the tools in the bag. They got all the tools in the bag. I can't wait for the playoffs. It's going to be one heck of a playoff run for all teams. It's going to be so much fun to watch. I'll see y'all in the next video, everybody. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We're trying to go to 10K now, man. We got a long way to go, but with y'all support, we can do it. You guys are the best. I'll see y'all in the next video, everybody. Peace.